This is Echeveria lilacina, also called Ghost Echeveria. It's such a gorgeous plant, I thought maybe you might enjoy some information on how to grow them. So join me.
Liquid Amber Girl Gardening.
These echeverias are rightfully called Ghost Echeveria. They're almost white in their color. If you just look closely, the margins take on maybe a pinkish or purple hue if they have really good light. But overall, the whole plant is almost completely white. They're so, so gorgeous and huge. If I hold down my hand here, you can see that this is a big mama and probably has been growing for quite a while because these are super slow growing compared to most echeverias. I have something going on here. I'm hoping it's an inflorescence, a flower spike, but I'm not sure. So one thing you do need to be careful with on these types of echeverias is the powdery coating. As you can see here, I have obviously messed up at some point in time and rubbed up against it because this is all covered with a powdery coating, and if you press your finger on it, your fingerprint will be there basically forever. It's so annoying. You have to be super careful with these kind of echeverias. I mean, if that's important to you and you don't want them looking it almost makes them look scarred up, even though that's not what it actually is. It's just the powder coating has been removed from that leaf. So one of the reasons I feel like this is probably an inflorescence is that we're coming up into the late winter. Not quite yet, but by about February 1st, like most succulents or most echeverias anyway, these will start shooting out their flower spikes and start their active growing. So I consider like February 1st, that's when you start, you know, with more of a little bit more water in your watering routine. They just are going to be more actively growing during that time. This plant can actually grow to 10 or 12 inches across according to the research that I found, which is absolutely incredible. I just can't even imagine that. This plant is basically, I mean, as far as I can tell, exactly the same size as it was when I bought it, and I've had it for a year. So for watering this plant, I try to just water along the edges, and I try to never get water on the leaves of the plant. If I do, I make sure to either use like a little paper towel or napkin to kind of blot it up, or just tilt the plant over to the side and allow the water droplets to fall off. Of course, any water on this rosette would be really bad, just tempting rot and different bad things to happen to what is otherwise a fantastically beautiful plant. I would hate that. As far as sunlight goes, outside, these can be kept, according to what I have read, in full sun. They can also handle part shade, but they do not want any more than just part shade. And they're actually incredibly cold tolerant. They can go all the way down to 15 or 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is below freezing. And again, that is from my research. That is not from my personal experience. So that might be slightly different for each plant, but I'm not going to risk it with mine. This one stays inside underneath grow lights. So that's about all I have on the care for these plants, and I would just really encourage you to try and grow one of these. If you are someone who likes to do succulent arrangements, just look at this color. And this whitish color would really contrast beautifully with mostly blues and greens, which is what you find in so many of the other succulent plants. Or just if you're a collector, look at it. It's stunning. It's so, so beautiful. And really an unfussy echeveria, as unfussy of an echeveria as I have ever grown. Really, it's very, very easy to take care of, and it just kind of hangs out and always looks lovely. As always, I will include the research that I did in the description of this video. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope this video was helpful to you, and I will see you in the next one.